by fasting, Am Yisrael, they created that protection. And as a remembrance of that, we fast. We don't fast so much because Esther HaMalka fasted, because that was on Pesach, right? As you know, Erev Pesach, first day of Pesach, second day of Pesach, everybody fasted. Even if it is, we can't fast on in the month of Nisan. So the Chachamim put it for today. Obviously, there's a lot other reasons to do this. But as you know, it's a fast of Simcha. And especially this year, it was supposed to be on Shabbat. We can't fast on Shabbat, so it's pushed back to tomorrow, to Thursday. So it's easier, for sure. Ladies that are pregnant or they're nursing, that means from 3 months until 24 months, they're patur. Someone who's weak, someone who's old, they're also patur. Like that. Drinking throughout the night should be fine. It's perfectly fine, especially if a person always drinks. They could drink now also. On this fast, a person could take a shower, could shave. Can a person wash their mouth? Better to be machmir. But if a person is used to it, cannot go on through the day without washing their mouth, they could. They just have to hold their head down so no water goes down in. And make sure to not to drink any. If a person wants to brush their teeth, they could also do it. It's just that they have to be very careful not to swallow anything. How about chewing a gum?
It's sugar in it.
Right. If it has no sugar, it has no sweetness. It's nothing to it. The person is used to chewing a gum. They could, but it doesn't look too good. To chew a gum on a fast. Taking a pill, definitely without water, is mutar, but if the pill has flavors, then it would not be allowed. It's a custom to give zecher lemachazit hashekel, right? It's better to give it on the fast day, right? It's about 10 grams of silver. They worked it out. I think this year is $6, and it's better to give for anyone who is above age 13. Right? Some give also for kids that are younger. That's Machaz Zecher and Machaz Sheker as a remembrance to that. We try to do it before reading the Megillah so that our Machaz Sheker precedes the reading of the Megillah. This Shabbat is Shabbat Parashat Zachor, as it is always before Purim, the Shabbat before Purim, and in it the Torah commands that we have to remember to eradicate the memory of Amalek. It's very important for us to. It's the only reading of the Torah of the whole year that is really biblical. That is a mitzvah from the Torah. The rest of the time, a rabbi instituted reading the Torah on Shabbat. Who's the rabbi?
Hillel?
Moshe Rabbeinu. He's the one.
He did everything, yeah.
he's the rabbi, but it's not. That means it's not from the Torah really. Moshe Rabbeinu saw. He said, I'm going to give him a Sefer Torah. They're going to put it in the Aron, and it's going to gather dust. So he says, every Shabbat, I want you to take it out and read from it. Few Pesukim, not like the parashiyot that we have now. That's later. That's, as you said, Ezra Sofer. And even later, they had different setups for it. In Eretz Yisrael, even at the time of the Gemara, they would finish reading the Torah once in 3 years. It would take them 3 years to finish. And it was a little different. But now I think it's pretty unified that everyone reads the parashah that we have in the setup that we have, but it's all rabbinic. It's all midrabanan. When it comes to Parashat Zachor, though, it's a mitzvah from the Torah for a person to hear the parashah. And it is good. I can't say that it's a chiyuv. I can't say that it's an obligation for women. It is a good thing that women should come and hear the parashah to be yotzeh according to all the poskim. Some poskim say that ladies also have to, because they also have an obligation to eradicate the Amalek, but others say no way. What, women go to war? Women don't go to war. So it's a back and forth. So if a person, if ladies also could come and hear, then fine. But some Batei Knesset, they take out the Sefer Torah in the afternoon. Also, they read from it for those who missed. But if someone, a lady says, no, I don't want to come. You can't say, oh, you're goy, it's fine, Let's jump to Motzei Shabbat, Mikra Megillah. Mitzvah of reading the Megillah, there is a mitzvah, rabbinic mitzvah to hear the Megillah at night and during the day of Purim. As you know, Megillah is not just reading. There's a lot to it. There's Kabbalistic, there's a lot of energy that comes down. And the person has to feel himself that he's within the miracle, and it has a lot of segulot. Listening to the Megillah word by word is very, very, very powerful for a person's neshama, and can't say enough. Really, like Sifrei Kabbalah and different chachamim, they talk about it a lot. But besides that, it's a mitzvah d'Rabbanan which we should try to do. So it's at night. The mitzvah is after sunset until the whole night, right? And the day is in the morning at dawn until the evening, until sunset. Ladies have as much obligation to hear the Megillah as men, right? It's just that some say that they cannot read the Megillah for men because of tzeniut, right? But Ravadi, I remember said in Shiur one time, he says, listen, you're the Moshav. All these poor guys are all farmers, they don't know how to read. And the girl went to Bet Yaakov and she knows how to read very well. In fact, although it's embarrassing to them, but they have no other choice. She could read Megillah for them, and there could be Yotzeh.
Can women read for other women? Like for a group of women?
It's not done. It's weird.
In some circles it's done.
Yeah, I know. But I'm talking about normal circles. It's not done, and it's weird. So now it's a good minhag to bring little kids, but in condition that they won't be making noise. Otherwise, it defeats the whole purpose. They learn to make noise during Megillah. Just it's a wrong chinuch. When they're older, when they're more ready, 100%, it's a great thing that they should come. The person that reads the Megillah, he should make 3 berachot at night, right? Al Mikra Megillah, She'aseh Nisim La'avotenu, and She'echianu, right? Sephardim do not make a She'echianu during the day. This She'echianu that we make at night goes on the day and all the mitzvot that we do throughout the day. By the way, did I mention that being that Parashat Zachor is a mitzvah from the Torah, so everyone should keep their customs. Sephardim should hear from Sephardi readers, and Ashkenazim should hear from Ashkenazi readers, and Yemenites should hear from Yemenite readers. Each one should keep their minhag and custom, and to read that. The same thing goes, we should try at least for the Megillah, but for sure, 100%, if a person hears from Ashkenazi reader, they are definitely Yotzei the mitzvah. So reading the Megillah, a person has to be careful to follow the Megillah better from inside, like some chumash or anything. Otherwise, you're just going to space out. You're going to look at the wall. 100% you're going to tune out. So from inside, that's the better. That would be the best thing that a person, if one is falling asleep, they should stand up to do something, not to miss a word. If a person misses a word, read it quickly. Read quickly from the chumash that you have in front of you to catch up. And if, forget it, you got lost, fell asleep, you got to catch the next minute, right? Catch the next reading.
And if the person reads super fast, where all the words are one long word, it's like I don't even know how to explain it.
Then I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's a big responsibility on the person that reads. They're all having a race. This guy reads in 15 minutes, this guy reads in 16 minutes. I don't know another 3 minutes, I don't think it's going to kill anyone. Read it, but if a person knows how to read very fast and very, very separate the words, fine, but then why? True, Megillah, it says it has to be read, you shouldn't stop. That's the halachah, you shouldn't stop. But to read it so fast and nobody could understand and to follow, I don't know.
What time on Sunday is Rabbi doing it?
They asked me, I'm doing it after mincha. So 1:30 is mincha, 2 o'clock is the beginning reading.
2 o'clock.
Right.
Oh, Sunday.
Right. We also do it at home.
Right.
At home, I'm assuming like 9:30. I think.
9:30.
I think so. It's not up to me. It's.
No, I have to switch, so I have to do it.
Right. And then at night, Be'ezat Hashem, we're going to have it in the Simcha hall. There's going to be 2 minyanim. One is downstairs, one is upstairs. So Be'ezat Hashem.
What if they like someone didn't fall asleep? They
daydreamed?
The ears heard it, but they daydreamed exactly, but the ears heard it.
If they heard it, if they know that they heard it, then move on, right? best they could do is to read from the Chumash quickly to
But
catch
if you
up.
catch up, you're missing the next sentence.
No, catch up means you catch up to where they are, and you listen, continue to listen. That's what catching up means.
Question. So Motzei Shabbat, what happens with Havdalah?
Perfect. That's what we're going to get to. So first of all, as far as the Megillah reading, this is the Megillah reading. Once the Megillah is done, they have to roll the Megillah back to its original. You can't just leave it wide and open and make the end beracha. It's not right. You make that beracha. This beracha, the last beracha, has to be said. If you have 10. If you don't have 10 people, then you cannot say the last beracha. Let's say that someone is reading for ladies, and there are not 10 ladies there, cannot say the last beracha. But if there are 10 ladies, even if there are like 6 ladies and 4 guys, for whatever reason, then they could still make the beracha. There's 10 people present, they could make that last beracha. Going to Rav Ovadia at least.
What about that last pasuk, Aruch Haman, all that stuff?
No, that's just a nice thing to say.
That?
It's a good thing.
Because it's not in the Siddur, and then I don't know why it's so.
It's not that big of a deal, but no, it's just that's just a custom. I'm talking about the beracha ha'el harabat rivenu v'hadan edinu v'hakam b'nikmatenu. That last beracha, that only it could be said when you have 10. Arur Raman, we're going to sing it the whole day anyway, so that's fine. Now for the berachot, even at home, right? We stand. It's a custom to stand for the kavod of the berachot, and then we sit. For the reading, we could sit. It is a person should not eat bread before reading the Megillah in the day or at night. You could eat other things. If someone wants to have milk and cereal, they could have that before in the morning, let's say, and then go hear the Megillah. That they could do. But to eat bread, about 54 grams, 2 kesetim, that much they should not. Eat. A person that fell almost at Shabbat, like this year. What we do is we say Arvit, and then after Shemon Esrei, what we do is we say the pesukim that are before Va'at Hakadosh in Arvit. Ladies don't probably say Arvit, but and then we stop. Then what we do is we make a borem or ha'esh. Why? Because until now, Arvit and everything, we were using the light. That's because that wasn't the time yet for Havdalah. The time for Havdalah is after Arvit. Now that we said Arvit, we don't benefit from the light unless we make a borem or ha'esh. So we bring a candle, make a baracha of borem or ha'esh, and then we read the Megillah, we do everything, and then at home you do the rest of Havdalah without borem or ha'esh, obviously. Now, if the people at home, they didn't hear Havdalah, so what you do is, the husband, either they could make Havdalah themselves, or the best thing to do is, the husband makes Bor Perei Gefen, makes a Borat Sebesamim, and then the wife makes Borem or Ha'esh, and then the husband says the last baracha of Havdalah, Hamavdir Ben Kodesh Shachor, U'Haro L'Choshech. That's, unless the wife was at Shul, and she also said Borem or Ha'esh, then we have no problem. That works. Yeah, questions? This is pretty straightforward. And that's as far as Motzei Shabbat is, and good. Now, during the day, it says, Poskim bring down that the custom is it's a good thing to wear the clothing of Yom Tov. And also we're careful not to do any melacha that's extra, something that's not needed, not to do it. But someone wants to cut their nail. The nail is really getting on their nerves, they want to cut it. And those things, whatever is needed, a person could do. These sort of things. It's not asur on Sunday. Before Purim and Shabbat. Right.
No, I'm saying I thought before reading Megillah or any time during the...
No, during Purim. During Purim,
so you can't do laundry.
If you don't have to, right? If you don't have to, then don't. If someone has little kids, they need, then that's something else.
That doesn't apply to Shushan Purim, right?
No. Shushan Purim has a certain level of kedusha, but not to that extent. No. Now, the mitzvot of Purim, besides here in the Megillah, is Mishlach Manot. Mishlach Manot, as we said, a person should send 2 foods. What's the reason for Mishlach Manot? It's to create friendship between the people, and also some people don't have food, So you're on the lookout. You see, these people, they probably don't have food. So then you send them some food items, so they'll be able to eat a seudah. Now, even if the thing is not cooked, you could give, but let's say a raw chicken, even a raw chicken, a person could give. But live chicken, that's not. It's not, you're not yotzeh. It's not a food item yet, So as we said, 2 types of food, right, to one person. Mishloach manot, that's plural. Ish lerehu, right? Now, if it's one type and he puts it in he puts one in a cup and he puts one in a plate, it's still not done. It's the same thing, and the person is not yotzeh. If you send 2 different drinks, you are yotzeh. If you sent it and you saw that it got lost, I don't know, it fell, it broke, whatever it is, you're not yotzeh. You gotta make sure that you give. You gotta make sure that the person gets it, right? And as we said, you have to make sure that it's for that in that person's honor. You're not going to give a piece of candy and a piece of wafer to some important rabbi. You're giving something, or also to a little kid. You're not going to give a bottle of whiskey and a whole thing. What they need. Men send for men, ladies send for ladies. And you have to send both together. You can't send one and then 10 minutes later send another. There's an Indian because it's mishloach manot. So mishloach means to send. So some people use a messenger. A messenger could be anyone. It could be Mustafa. You say, hey, Mustafa, take this for the guy. Or a kid, or it doesn't matter. But but it doesn't have to be.
Can you send 2 fruits?
Yeah,
like a
banana and apple. Yeah, for sure. That's 2 different things. Now, if the person that you sent it to said, "I don't want it. I don't like you. I don't want it," or no, why go there? He says, "Look, I don't need it. I have enough garbage. Pesach is coming. I don't want." Then we're not yotzeh. We have to give it to someone. It has to be that we have given it. So we have to be careful. We have to make sure.
You have that option.
Yeah, people look. You'd be surprised what people do. But listen, at the end of the day, as long as you gave one, you're yotzeh. Everybody else, okay, you don't want it, chazak u'baruch, we'll give it to someone else or whatever. As long as you've done one, good to go. Next thing is matanot le'evyonim. Matanot le'evyonim, that means gifts to poor people. That means one gift each to 2 poor people. That gift could be anything. The first one has to be food items. This one could be money, could be food, could be a book, could be clothing, whatever it is, it's good. How much is the minimum? So again, the chiyuv, the obligation is, as we said, 1 gift to 2 aniyim each. Each gets 1 gift. Those 2 at least we should give about, I'd say, $5. How much is a seuda? They could buy a good meal. Like Rav Ovadia Zichron Levrach used to say, buy a pita falafel inside with some salad. That's what he used to say. It's about $5 now. Probably would do it. I don't know. But that's good enough. And if you want to add to that, you could even use maaser, because you've already done your obligation, and that's it. The last thing.
So $5 is enough, or
$5 for each, $10, right? At least.
Someone had told me in seminary that there's an idea to give a lot, how much you would personally spend on a suda. Is that?
No, not necessarily. I'll tell you, it's like tzedakah. Tzedakah is, it could even be a little bit. It's just that one of the poskim says a person should be careful to give a little bit more as a seuda. That's it. Otherwise, really, you could give a matana. A gift is a gift. Okay. And there's the Rambam says a person should spend more money on this rather than the other things, because this is this is the idea of Purim, to help out, to create that unity, to make sure people that are needy, they should have. Besides this, it said kol poshet moshitim lo, right? Whoever stretches out their hand, help him, give him. Don't ask who are you, what is this. He said the same way when we pray on Purim, and we are stretching out our hand to Hashem, Hashem will give us. I'm telling you, Purim is extra special.
Question.
Yeah.
Does the matanot le'evyonim have to be given on Purim day?
Thank you. Very good. Mishloach manot and matanot le'evyonim have to be given on Purim itself, on the day of Purim. There's a question if a person mails it before, and it will get there on Purim. Was he yotzeh? Was he not yotzeh? So we could do that. That's fine. I'm sure everybody's getting all these mail-ins or emails and everything. And Baruch Hashem, why not? If we could do it, 100% we should. Nothing better than this. But to make sure that we've done the mitzvah on that day, we should give. What they do in many shuls is they collect money for aniyim of Eretz Yisrael and aniyim of Los Angeles, because in Eretz Yisrael, during the day, it's already Purim's out, right? Unless you're dealing with Yerushalayim. So Yerushalayim, there's a question. By us is the 14th. By them is the 15th. Are we Yotzeh? Is that good? Over here, I know what they do is that they tell them to give already on Purim itself, and then whatever money they gather here, later they send, so they worked it out that it should be given on the behalf of the people in Los Angeles, in Israel, on their Purim, and then, and also they give here, so to make sure that, we've done the mitzvah properly. Last but not least is the Seudah of Purim. There is no really obligation for a person to eat bread, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing to do, and for sure to have meat. That's for sure. To have meat, and also ladies are obligated in the mitzvah of the Seudah of Purim.
Oh, so you don't have to wash?
You don't have to.
The point is to wash.
There's no chiyuv. It's a great thing. You wash. You say Al Nisim and everything. It's a great thing to do, but no chiyuv. I cannot say that there's an obligation.
Basar is like beef rather than chicken.
Yes, chicken is not basar. We're talking about beef, calves, and the like. Okay, Bezrat Hashem. All right.
One more question.
Yes.
If I'm going to be in a different city,
Right.
do I give in that city or here where I live?
If you're there, then how would you give here?
I guess that's okay. Give to someone in advance that would have to give it on the day.
Yeah, they could do that. You could do that. That on your behalf, they should give on that day. You could do both.
Okay.
Or you could Venmo. These days, Venmo is great. I mean, I don't know if any poor person that does Venmo, but okay. I'm sure there are organizations. They just, PRC. They're collecting money for someone, and some needy family, and they were debating how to do it and everything. Suddenly, this evening, they said they set up the Venmo account for them, which is Baruch Hashem, a big help.
Why does that we have to give, especially the anim in our town?
No. The point is how would you give it? You got to give it to them. If you're not here, how would you give it?
To a poor person in the town that you are.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's
For
okay
sure.
just to give.
Yeah, as long as you give to the Jewish, of course.
Yeah. Okay.
You could give to Goyim also.
I think the shul does it anyways. But yeah.
Right, they do. Most shuls they take care of it. I remember Avadi says one time, they used to live in Rechavia. Rechavia is all rich people in Yerushalayim, and he says, we read the Megillah. Where am I going to find poor people in Rechavia? So he says, we went to the Bukhari. He says, over there you find poor people. So I'm looking for poor people to give them. He was talking about, the Halachot of Matanot Le'Evyanim. Baruch Hashem. All right. We are moving on in the Halachot of Bishul. Okay. I think the last thing that we discussed was the ladle. Right? And we say if you put, we're dealing with Keli Rishon, and you put a ladle into Keli Rishon, right? It's better that a person should make sure that the ladle is dry, right? If there's little droplets, right? Try to be machmir, to dry it up. But that's only water. But if you poured soup, right? Soup is cooked, and then there's some soup left, and then you want to take it, put it back in, and then bring more soup, right? Even if it's totally cold, then you're still allowed to do it, and you don't have to dry it up. We're talking about you washed the ladle, there's some water on it. It's better to dry it. It's not even isur because you're sticking it into Keri Rishon, right? Now, this is interesting. Interesting halacha is brought down in the Rishonim Gemara. Water that was heated for the purpose of washing one's hands, right? Let's say, or face. On Friday they heated up the water very much so that they could wash their face with it. It's very cold the weather, and he wants to wash his face with nice hot water. Now, if the water is in Keri Rishon, right? It's asur to pour cold water in him, even a lot of cold water, and he wants to make the water lukewarm by doing this, right? The water is extremely hot, and he wants to pour a lot of cold water into it to make it lukewarm, right? We say you can't do it. cannot do it, but unless you pour the water from Keri Rishon into Keri Sheni, and then you want to pour cold water in it, that's fine. This is only if the water was heated to wash one's face and hands, right? Because usually they would heat it up a lot more than for drinking purposes. Nowadays, though, we don't do that. Nowadays, we don't heat the water differently for washing and for cooking. It's all the same. There's no difference. So therefore, one could do it. Let's say you have a Keri Rishon, right? Keri Rishon means the vessel, the pot that was on the fire, right? And in it there is boiling water. Okay. Now what they did was, let's say this pot, Keri Rishon, they emptied it out. They poured it into something, whatever. Now the pot remains, and he wants to now pour cold water into the pot.
An empty pot.
In the empty pot, which is very hot.
Is it off
the walls are very hot.
It's off the...
It's off the fire, of course.
Yes,
of course.
you can.
Right. You want to have some lukewarm water, right? You could do it, but make sure don't put a little bit water, because if you put a little bit water, that water is going to reach Yad Kollel, then we're in trouble. You see the catch? So you put a lot of water, that's fine, right? If you put a lot of water at once, then it's fine. Then you're allowed to do it. But if there's a little bit of water, you're just pouring a little bit of water, that water is going to reach Yad Kollel, and we have to be careful. Now, what about the opposite? You want to pour boiling water from Keri Rishon into cold water, right? Even if the water is like really boiling, and you want to pour it into the cold water.
It's okay.
You're right. That's allowed, right? We have the rule, Tata Agavar, what's in the bottom, that one is more powerful, and that'll eat up, so to speak, that hot water, and it's fine. But if you have very little water, like the tiny amount, we should be machmir lachatechila, not to pour hot water from Keri Rishon onto it.
So like making a baby bottle.
Very good.
Yeah.
So how does it work? How do you do it? You have the baby formula there, and then you hold it right under the urn.
So what I used to do, put cold water and then kilishi pour it in. But if we can put cold water. No.
So very good. This is exactly what we're talking about. You have boiling water in Keri Rishon. That's your urn, right? And you have a little bit cold water in there, and you want to pour on it. So we said it's better to be machmir not to do it. But if you have a little bit, that means tiny amount. This is going to all boil up.
If you have a little bit of cold water.
Right. But let's say you have 2/3 of the bottle, you have cold water, and then you pour. You're not going to give him boiling bottle. You pour another third of the bottle of the hot water. That's fine.
So you don't have to kilishi.
You don't have to. I mean, no. Don't get me wrong. If you do, it's good. It's good. It's fine.
You don't have to.
Continue doing whatever it is you're doing. It's Shabbat. You want to be machmir, do it. But we're just learning the halachot, right?
No, but the halacha you don't have to.
Correct.
In the middle of the night. Seriously.
But we said it's better for a person to be machmir. At least switch it to Keri Sheni. To be machmir, why not? It's fine. Now, but let's say the cold water or the cold liquid is cooked already. What's a good example? Tea essence. You have the tea essence, right, that you've made.
Oh.
And it's gone down. It was already cooked on Erev Shabbat, right? And now it's totally cold. And it's very little. And now you want to pour from the urn directly onto it. Are you allowed to? Yeah, it's cooked already. It's cooked, and a person could pour from Keri Rishon onto it, and no problem.
What do you mean by cooked? Like the essence itself is cooked already, or the water that's in it is cooked?
The essence and the water, they're all cooked, right? Let's say you pour some essence into your cup, right, and it's cold, and you want to pour from the urn onto it. You could do that, right? It's better for a person to be machmir for sure. Like they first put the water from the urn into the cup. Now the water is in Keri Sheni, and then you pour the tea essence on it. We said that would be the best thing. Okay, so that's as far as Keli Rishon. Let's jump to Keli Sheni. What is Keli Sheni? Keli Sheni is that Keli, that cup, that pot, that the container, that from it you transfer the water or the food or whatever it is from Keli Rishon into, right? This is Keli Sheni. So for whatever reason, according to different Rishonim, different reason, according to some because the travel makes it colder, according to others, the walls of Keli Sheni that encompass the food, they cool it down. So Keli Sheni, Gemara says, Eino mevashel. Keli Sheni doesn't cook, right? Even if the item, the food item that's in it, the drink, the liquid is still very hot, we still say that it's not mevashel, it doesn't cook. Right? Let's say you have, again, from the urn, boiling hot water, you pour it into a cup, we say, oh, this is already Keli Sheni and it doesn't cook. Except, so we went through the whole list of Kaleh Bishul, things that cook easier. So some of these things, they come in contact with water, with a liquid or water that is even somewhat hot, they get cooked. Kulias ha'ispanim. Do you remember the Spanish mackerel, whatever it was, like that fish? These sort of things, like the expression in Farsi is they're nazok narinji, and they get cooked real quick. They're very soft, and they could get cooked easy. So then we have to be careful. Now, is a person allowed to? Let's go back. You have now very hot water in your Keli Sheni. That means you empty the water from the urn into the cup, and it's very hot. And the person wants to pour cold water into that cup. The water is yet solidable in the cup. It just came from the urn. Are we allowed to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
All right.
I'm a little confused about if you have cold water and you want to put hot water on it, like you're allowed to do that, but it's cooked. Let's say the essence, if it was already cooked, you're allowed to put hot water on it. So what's the difference of like putting a pot of soup on the blech on Shabbat? Isn't it the same? The soup is cooked.
I'm lost.
If it's essence, it's already cooked, tea essence.
Okay.
You're allowed to put hot water on it.
So we say this is already mevushal, and you're not mevashelit.
So what's the difference of putting cold soup on the blech?
Okay. There you're doing an action of putting it on the blech. There are a few things. There's a few other issues with it.
Oh, it's not the same.
Right. Because the cold food that you have there, right, by you transferring it there and bringing it to Yad Soledetbo, that act of cooking there had stopped. Now it's like you have restarted the act of cooking. Whereas this, the tea that you're making, it was already cooked and it's still cooked, and all you're doing is just pouring the hot water into Keli Sheni. There's no act of cooking here. Mm-hmm. Whereas over there, bringing the soup to Yad Soledetbo, that is an act of cooking.
But the tea essence is also going to be Yad Soledetbo.
The tea essence, by you pouring the water from the urn, is going to reach Yad Soledetbo. We answered this. We talked about this. Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. No. Just it's a good memory refresher. I don't remember what we. Yes, we made. We said what the difference is. Now I can't recall. I have to get back to you on that.
Thank you.
Now, let's say they want to put cold milk into a cup of coffee, right? You have a cup of coffee and it's hot. You want to pour cold milk in it. We say it's allowed because that coffee is in Keli Sheni and it's not mevashel. It's not mevashel, this milk that you're putting into it, right? Even if it's very hot, even if it's burning hot, you want to put the milk in it. Milk, especially, like most companies, it's all pasteurized, and usually it's pasteurized to the degree that we know that it would cook. So we say that is allowed. Now, kol sheken, more so, for sure, a person could take, he has cold food, right? Soup, let's say. It's fully cooked and everything. Let's say he has choresh. Like, fully cooked and everything. And he wants to take it and pour it into hot water. wants to take the soup and pour it into hot water, right? Which is all in keli sheni. This is no different than the milk, right? Into the cup of coffee, and that would be allowed.
So you can kind of warm up your chorish that
Yeah, I
way.
was just about to
This
say.
is
how
how
interesting.
this is how you could warm up your chorish, or your soup. You have chicken soup, right? You want to warm it up. What would you do? You take the soup and you pour it into. You transfer the hot water from the urn into this container, and you pour the soup into the bowl over it, and you have a little bit of a warm soup.
What about like, say you put a chorish in a bag and you put the bag in hot water? It's the same thing.
Wow.
That's a good idea.
Ooh, ah.
It's like defrosting kind of.
Bag.
Why not?
That might be hatmana. I don't know. I'm not sure.
What's
A
hot
bag
sauce?
is
Oh,
different.
it's
A
like
bag is different
covered.
because it's covering it from all around. I'm not so sure about that one. That might we might run into that. Well, that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
So let's say you have cholent or halim that's too thick.
Right.
So you can pour hot water from Kli Rishon into it.
No. First, you got to remove that from keli rishon. Your cholent, you cannot add anything to it.
It's congealed, so it's like
Oh, it's in the fridge.
It's cold, yeah.
Oh, okay. It's cold now.
so
You want to pour.
So you can put some hot water on it on the Kli Rishon,
Yeah. So it seems.
and it's
That's what they're saying.
still
You can
mostly
pour
solid.
on it or pour the
Pour
water
the
in
water. No, pour the soup into the water.
No, pour water from Kli Rishon into the bowl of the cholent. That's cold.
What would that do? Halachically, is that a problem? Maybe. Maybe. We have a bowl
Why not?
of. Just let's make sure.
It's irui.
Irui mikri rishon is only mevashel kedei klipa. This is already mevushal. There's a question if you could even reheat it. According to many, you could reheat it because it's not. It's especially if it's congealed.
Yeah, it's
This is
very
considered
thick.
davar yavesh. According to many, if it's congealed, right, it's not pourable, it's not soup, so it's davar yavesh. Then you might be able to do that. Yeah.
The grains will take away any water that was left anyways.
True.
In the
Yeah. You're right.
So
So,
then
okay.
I can mix it, and now it's still very like thick.
And
it's
it's
not
still-
pourable.
And it's still not edible because it's still pretty cold.
Yes.
Right.
So can I then put that on the blech? It's still very hard. It's not watery at all.
I don't
It's
know.
not pourable.
You're really pushing it. I don't know.
That's a very, very tough challenge.
Yeah, that challenge went through a lot of yisurim.
No, it
It's just for
happens a
the
lot.
kids. It's like
Yeah, or like with like meat that was soupy now congealed or anything.
No, meat, we said. That's we're gonna get to that. That's also davar kush, a little different. But yeah, that's fine. But this cholent, maybe. Let's say you have the cholent pot that was now your cholent has cooled off, and now you want to take that cholent out. Just to be clear, you want to take that cholent out of the fridge, right? Not edible, and you take it. You want to put hot water directly from the urn onto it. Is that a problem? Is it Mexican vashel? No. Is it a problem of irui, which is vashel kedei keripa? No, because it's already cooked and it's not lach. Sounds like okay, but again, I'm not a posek halacha. I can't tell you, yeah, for sure that you could do. I haven't seen it, but
Well, she can do it for sure. Keli shelishi.
keli shelishi for sure they could do. For sure, keli shelishi, a lot of the
Anything,
things of keli sheni are already off. Even the Ashkenazim that are machmir, but keli shelishi they could be a lot more meccan.
And you can take liquid, like a soup, and put it on the plata if the timer is off, like you catch it before it turns on again.
Yes, we said that. Correct. That we could.
that's how shocking it is. She has to ask you.
I know I was gonna do it, but I just felt like
No,
it's too
I
it's
think,
too
I
weird.
think we mentioned it a couple of times. Yeah, Ravadi says that's fine.
Okay.
Person